Hi guys, let's make another video about ArcoNet. We're making a series and we're going down the list in the ArcoNet advanced options where we select desktops, and each time, each video, we talk about something else. So we've just made a video about ArcoLinux WHAT and we covered mirrors, where our package is coming from, the ArcoLinux mirrors, the ArcoLinux mirrors. So next up is the next desktop in line, so we'll have a look. I'm guessing alphabetically that might be i3. We are here at the boot screen, so you download the ISO, burn it on a USB, boot up, make sure all the settings in the motherboard are okay for Linux, and then you need to choose. I have an NVIDIA graphical card, probably this one, if it's new enough, right? The older cards are not covered with NVIDIA DKMS as a package, but there's 340, 390, there are other packages that you can download and install. Here we have Intel AMD, and if nothing works right, then it's actually line number 3, save graphics, no mode is set. And here we have the same thing, but the first 3 lines is the Linux kernel, and the second line, well, 3, 4, 5 is 4, 5, 6, right, is a Zen kernel. So kernels is the way to make sure that all bits and pieces, the parts on your motherboard, are recognized and working, right? So choosing a kernel matters because it is hardware, right? We don't have the same hardware everywhere in the world. So choose. In VirtualBox you choose line 1 or line 4. I've done in previous video line 1, so I'm gonna choose line 4 now. And each time, each installation, we do a little different things, select different things, and you'll see if you boot up with another kernel, there are other messages, right? There are other warnings even, and things that you say, never seen that before. That's the kernel, right? The kernel is working, is looking around and giving you message, sending you warnings or messages, or even kernel panic. Anything is possible. It's gonna look at your hardware. We boot up into XFCE, which is a great desktop to start with. Mate would be maybe another one, and Cinnamon another one, right? Why not Plasma, you may think, you may say, right? Yeah, sure. It's just a bit more complex, a lot of settings possible, but it's indeed a full-fledged system where anything you'd like is probably gonna be there, right? That's Plasma for you. But XFCE is a good starter for sure. The settings that are provided are certainly enough, and the settings that we have here are okay. System settings here, surely you can work with that one. But then we go for the advanced installation in these videos, because offline means what you see is what you get. You get this, 2 kernels and all these packages. When we go for advanced installation online, we choose, and it's written here in the information, ArcoNet easy. What you see is what you get. You get XFCE and all the apps, everything you see. But in the advanced, we say to Calamares, go remove XFCE 4. And then it's up to you to select the desktop. The apps are not removed, they stay, but you know the drill, ArcoLinux Nemesis, there's a template of scripts where you can say remove this, remove that, and then add this, add that. So that's a good idea. But if you're not ready for Bash or C, so scripting, then there is ArcoWM. ArcoWM can install software by clicking a button. All right, let's go for advanced installation. Not sure what to do here online. What's all that? Arch wiki grub, arch wiki system deboot, etc. Still don't know what to do. Why not choose install grub here? So grub is graphical, has a nice possibility. Systemd is black. Gotta live with that. So my choice is English, because I like to learn the technical terms with which I can later on search the internet. Drivers are maybe needed or not, but try without and discover on each laptop or each desktop what you need. EZM is already installed, and a theme as well, so we can skip all that. And the last video I've made was this one. So yes, i3 is in the running, and i3 contains a lot of packages that we think should be there, but you might have another opinion on the matter, right? And you can deselect some of these things and live with it. But first I would say, try it out, learn i3, and then make your decisions later on. This is for Wayland, two guys that we can have, but real metal, not on anything virtual. A lot of packages that we've made, long list. Next, these are packages from somebody else, right? We have zero control over these packages. Will they work? Will they not work? It's many players are, well, will assure that this thing will work, right? Also the package built from AOR, everything needs to be working, and then we get a free app or a free service or a free functionality. All right, so check, click, all you want to click whatever you like, right? It will be installed, and then you can use it later on. And we're off. I'm living in Brussels, not really, but okay. Belgium, keyboard, and then we select something from the list. This is how we format things. And we would like to have no swap, which depends a little bit on the amount of memory you have. With 64 GB of memory or RAM, no need for hibernation or whatever. It's a choice here whether you like to hibernate, which means the machine kind of goes to sleep, but it's not really sleeping, it's really not using power, and then you click something and it wakes up again and everything is still open, all the apps are still open. I'm not a fan of that, but hey, it's a free world, you choose whatever you like. So investigate what this is all about, hibernation, but I suppose you probably know that from Windows already. So next, voila. So passwords, usernames, name of the computer, all good, and off we go, install this thing. So i3, i3. In previous videos I've explained run gparted and update arch mirrors and all the mirrors and everything that needs to be said about the mirrors. So that's cool, that's done. In ArcoLinux we talked about the mirrors. Let's talk about i3. i3, I'm thinking about the years I've been on i3. I think we're over 10. I really think we are over 10 years. Because YouTube is a reference, but it's not the only reference, right? So there's Eric Dubois, this guy here, and if I type i3, then I'm typing wrong. Guys, let's put this in the video again. I make the same mistake probably as you guys. This is not the correct search. This is a search on the internet of YouTube, right? No, not the internet, but the YouTube catalog. This is the correct i3. i3 on only the channel of ArcoLinux. That's what I want to know. What can I find on the channel of ArcoLinux? And you see here that this thing, well, I used i3 before before there was any mention of ArcoLinux. I used i3 on Linux Mint, Cinnamon, on Ubuntu, and I made videos explaining how awesome this desktop is because it works anywhere. All I need, like always, I need apps, I need config for the apps, and that's it. So if I can find the applications on, let's say, NixOS, and I can grab the configuration from ArcoLinux and put it on NixOS, it will work. Yeah. So it's interesting to know that this is Solus, remember? Solus. And Tergos, that's really remember because, yep, it doesn't exist anymore. So all these videos, you might think, I can't use them anymore. Yes, you can still use them. They are all about workflow and text and configs and figuring things out. It's always interesting to watch the videos, even though 7 years ago, right? 7 years ago, you'll see that not much has changed in i3. Not really. So that's also maybe one of the advantages. You think, oh yeah, cool, it's quite cool, right? It's stable. Over 8 years ago, I was using i3. It's not that much different. Yeah, we found a few packages to tile it differently. That's certainly one of the things that people tell me. Eric, your i3 tiles different, right? Because we chose to use an application that makes it, for me personally, better, tiles it better. But in the end, yeah, we added some things like the Polybar. Do we need a Polybar in i3? No, no, no. Can we? Yeah, we can. So it's always about a little bit about freedom, and then we experimenting. Can we do that? Oh yeah, we can. And let's put it in the ATT, right? So the button for people less advanced yet, we have the ATT, a button that says go put Polybar there. And voila, click, click, done, and all kinds of magic happens. But basically we're gonna move things and change things and update things, and voila, Polybar is working. So yes, there has been, oh my god, right? A lot has been created about i3. A lot of knowledge can be found on our channel, and it goes way back. As the last thing I saw was 8 years ago, I think. At least 8 years ago. But like I said, I wasn't recording. So might be even longer, maybe 10ish. So yes, so that's i3. How are we? Can we stop? No, we can't. We need to keep talking. Now I can pause the video if I want. But let's keep talking. So there is information, lots of information. Change the color of the i3. It's still valid, right? It's still valid. And yes, we play around with EndeavourOS. It's possible to put the ArcoLinux tweak tool on EndeavourOS, install ArcoLinux Awesome, ArcoLinux i3, ArcoLinux Qtile, ArcoLinux anything, because it's based on Arch. And I'd like to put that in this video again. It is all Arch Linux, right? Learn from us, move through the world of Arch and all the other names. And if you have no clue how big the world of Arch is, ATT. Here are the guys, right? Arch, Bang, Maybox, StormOS. These are the guys. All Arch. Play around with them. Learn i3. Learn to put i3, I don't know, on Red Hat. Why not? If you're into i3, experiment and say, can this be done? Can this be done? And I've made the Linux Mint guys it easy. There are scripts that they can run, and voila, i3 is working on Linux Mint. So yeah, wow, I've been scrolling, all right? Let's do another website. The other website you should use, if I can click here. I think we're hanging. I think we are. Then we should have a look at ArcoLinux D. Let's come back later, maybe it unfreezes. Super D Brave. And let's go to ArcoLinux D. ArcoLinux D has phases, has desktops, has i3. Learn about i3. So yes, we kinda are a fan of i3, although these last years I've been on ArcoWM. If you watch how many time I've put on it and been on i3, it's probably gonna be the one with where I spent the most time on in those 7 years or 10ish years. Here as well, works anywhere. NixOS, have a look. Linux Mint is here, Linux Mint 18, all kind of versions, Antergos. So a lot of Linux Mint, that's where I started. How to create a theme. Maybe you'd like to create themes for i3. The DB Nemesis theme explained this is coming from LeftWM. Yes, if you know what you're doing, you can get polybars from somewhere else and incorporate it in your desktop. That's this. Key bindings, 139 videos on i3, ArcoLinux B i3. And this one is i3 Anywhere. I think we have here double, so we can, no, it's not a double. i3 Works Anywhere and i3 Anywhere, it's different. And here we have all the articles that I've written in the past. And it doesn't matter if it says ArcoLinux D i3, doesn't matter, it is i3. Whether we use ISO X, Y or Z, in the end you end up with i3, with settings and how to set up a dual monitor. They're all things that we all like to know, right? So have a look at those as well. Let's see if he's still frozen. The only thing we have to do, voila, is wait if he is frozen and just reboot, right? If it's actually working, if the image is frozen, that can happen, right? Can happen. If the image is frozen, but it's still working, then at the end, it just ends with reboot, right? So what I've done then in the past is just reboot and everything was working just fine, right? So some common sense and then all's good. What I'd like to go as well, should we go as well, right? ArchWiki i3, why not? Do they have something? ArchWiki i3, your guide. Yeah, voila, have a look at other things. But isn't there an ArchWiki? Look at that, arcolinuxd.com. Good. So I guess we're gonna go for i3wm. So sometimes people ask, I talk about i3wm, Windows Manager, or just i3. So use both of them. Comparison of tiling window manager might be interesting, right? To have a look. What is the comparison of the tiling window manager page? So here we have explained, or they explain, this is not we, right? That is they, Arch is creating a wiki, not us. And here we are looking at all the possibilities. And there's more. You can keep on exploring i3 status replacements. You can have a look what's possible. We're using i3 blocks. You have to make choices as usual. You can't install all of them. You have to make choices. Is our package in here? Control find, tiling. Autotiling is the one that we use. So that's why people who come from somewhere else say, Eric, your i3 is different. It's better or not, right? Depends. It's different. And that's because of this package. We execute the autotiling package, which makes it a little bit, feels different. The windows are tiled differently. So have a look at all that and keep working on your own i3 config. Put it online, go to somewhere else, SUSE this time, right? Make sure you have all the i3 applications, put in your config in there, try it out. SUSE i3, config from you, from us, and have fun. All right, time to restart. So we got ourselves an i3. I'm not going to go in the configuration. That's arcolinuxd.com and all the videos, right? That's the configuration. The detail, line per line per line, is explained. We're gonna have some fun. Super C, I know my key bindings, Super C. Don't want to see this, but yes, it's interesting to install software, ArcoLinux. It's interesting to install more desktops, ArcoLinux Tool, and all the rest we have to offer. It's interesting to update the Arch mirrors, but are they up to date? And mirror list. Yep, they're good. Osbeck is the one that wins. That's the one I want. Super Q. And screen resolution, well, it's a bit small, so we could do that. Outputs, virtual resolution, 1080. Click, layout, save as, and then Eric. So we have the code somewhere. Voila. Alt N, a variety, key binding, next, wallpaper, please. Voila. Control T, let's remember the tiling, remember auto tiling. That's normal. That's still normal. But because of the auto tiling, we get this. Normally, we get a, how do you say that? An horizontally tiled 3 windows. So instead of vertically tiling this one in splitting it in 2, it's actually smaller, 1/3 of a screen in the width here, and 1/3 and 1/3. That's the normal i3, and I fell in love with this. Auto tiling. Sudo bacman minus remove auto tiling. Right. Super X log out. Control T, Control T, Control T. That's what I don't want. And if you keep on going, it really gets rubbish. I mean, this is just too small. Maybe with a bigger screen, sure. And I know the screen is now back to what it was, but it's not what I want, right? It's really is not what I want. So sudo bacman minus install auto tiling back again. And there it is. Super X, log out. Log in, Super C. Let's do Control Alt W. Get my screen resolution in. If you don't know this anymore, or if you forgot, or this is just a render, right? Control Alt T, a render. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Virtual 1 resolution 1920, 1080. Click. Done. Control T, Control T, Control T, Control T, Control T. This is auto tiling. Super Q, Super Q, Super Q, Super Q, Super Q, Super Q, Super D, escape, Super Shift D, that one, Super X, that one, and Super Shift X, that one, Super Enter, that one, so Control Alt Enter, that one, and Super Shift Enter. So now you know the most important key bindings to navigate through i3. Let's go for Control Alt E, which is the tweak tool. I talked about the Polybar. So let's go to themes. Only if you have i3 installed, you can do something. Only if you have Awesome installed, you can do something. Only if you have LoveWM installed, you can do something. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense, right? Changing anything to something that's not there. But i3 is installed. I can go and change the look, the theme, the color. Probably got that, right? Pinky is a good way. And Nord is probably something you recognize as well as name. And Drakut and all that. So Frama maybe. So these are all colors you can choose. So this is fire dust. You see fire is orange and red. So if we do that, apply theme, we have a different color. We need to probably log out. So Super X log out. So it can be applied. And again, there we go, right? Small screen. We can fix it, of course. But this is now reddish kind of border. And that's basically the only thing that happens, right? ATT can be launched as well, like this. so we can keep track of things, see what's happening, maybe some errors. And yes, we can remove it, sure. I can't click this thing. Seems to me that I can't click it. Let's see. No, it's unclickable. Oh, okay, it was an enter. The mouse did not do the trick. Yeah, virtual machines are really not 100%, right? They really aren't. If you don't quit the ArcoLinux tweak tool correctly, then the log file stays. So let's see. Unlock, we have that as well, but that's not for this thing, that's for Pac-Man. But I thought we had something to remove that lock. I guess not. CD temp, ls log file not found. Yes, to remove for some reason. Let's go and reboot everything. If it's in the temp folder, and I don't really remember where we put it again, was it in the var or was it in the temp folder? But temp gets cleaned out. So it's the case. If that's the case, then we have back ATT, because I would like to end with a Polybar. So themes. Let's maybe quickly do an A render first. I should have done that first. Resolution, blah, blah, blah. Right? Poof. Done by. So, Polybar. Themer. i3. Toggle Polybar. Toggle Polybar. So on and off. Simple as that. And then we apply theme. Let's take something else. Mind maybe. Seems like green or blue. Apply theme. We log out, super X. Let's take the other one, super shift X. Log out, yes. And we have this green bluish kind of thing. But up here we have something new. That's the Polybar. And then we have all these things up here. And you know, of course, there are so many things to change in Polybar. You just navigate to the i3. This is what you need to read. And let's have a look. Where is our Polybar? Let's see where we put it. So this is the config. There's already the backup I see. So open up your config and navigate and be a computer. Control find Polybar. Execute. What? This. Where is that? Ah, it's gonna go outside i3. It's gonna go to Polybar, and it's gonna launch this one, which is gonna launch that one, which contains scripts and so on, right? Follow the reasoning of the computer. And the point was, there are many modules in here. Long list. I think probably the longest list of all distros, 2,000, 3,000 lines, 2,500 lines. And you choose the modules. You choose here, I want to have module X, Y, Z, and change it. So that's the fun, to be able to get the Polybar in i3. Am I a fan? Not really, but I understand why people want to use it, because of the fact that there are so many modules, right? You can make it nice. Yeah, I shouldn't do that, right? I should exit the ArcoLinux tweak tool nicely. Otherwise I get this message always. Let's try one more time. See if I can click it now. At the bottom there is this quit ATT. That's the one I should use, right? Not super Q, but it's in my fingers to kill things. So let's put thing back. Themer, Polybar. Toggle Polybar is just simply removing things again. It's overwriting files from A to B, and you need to log out. So the other guy, the other bar at the bottom, right, is applied, and super C again. And there you are. Maybe include something that you've seen now. You have this eric.sh. This code is how you set the screen. Boom, right? That's the code we need to run to have i3 full screen on VirtualBox. This is not an issue on Real Metal. But what if you want to explore i3 first? Then you go for i3. That's one of the options. Config here. Let's find Control find X render. There are lines here. We are giving you examples. Super F, full screen. We give you examples. That's the code. But this is something that needs to be in front of it. Control C, Control V, space. No double space. Save. So here are examples where a monitor is called DVI or HDMI, and here we have the VirtualBox names, Virtual 1 and Virtual 2 and 7, all those are off. And that's okay, you can delete some of these things behind here, but you can keep it as well. Exec, no startup, ID, xrender, I think we're good. Here's another one, current displays, no startup, ID, xrender, output DPO. So there is already a line in here, which I would have the reflex to say, I'm in control, right? This one needs to be running. Now, this one gets applied first and then this one, so I'm winning anyway, but okay. Clean up, right? Super F, Control S for one last time, Super X, log out and log in. And hope this thing gets applied. Super C, don't like this wallpaper, I'm typing var. I'm getting my own personal variety configuration in, Alt N, variety is kicking off. He's going to have a look at the Wallhaven. And this is not my wallpaper, right? This is not my wallpaper, this is. So now there are things coming in from Wallhaven, like these things. They're all wallpapers I've never selected before, never seen before, and that's the fun. People ask often, Eric, can I get the wallpaper? And my answer is no, right? You do the same as I do. Get variety in, let Wallhaven provide the wallpapers, and then it's up to you. Select whatever you like. Alt N is the next wallpaper. Alt P is the previous wallpaper. Alt T is trash the wallpaper. Alt N, voila. Alt arrow up. Let's stick with the wallpaper. I don't want to change anymore. Let's stick with this one for now, until I press Alt N again. So have a look at all these variety configurations, variety help probably, lots of things. Pause, resume, toggle pause, things that we use in our key bindings. N is the next, P is the previous, T is the trash, and F is the favorite, hence Alt F. This is my favorite one. I would like to keep this one. Super Shift Enter, config, variety, favorites, right? That's the one. But there are many videos about variety, so have a look at those, and you'll get to know how wonderful variety can be. And you set it any way you see fit, right? You don't want it to start when the computer works, change every 5 minutes, every day, just one, every 5 days, change the wallpaper on start. Where will I find the wallpapers? I don't like the wallpapers in user share backgrounds. It's always the same. I want my own folders, etc, etc. Go and change the settings. Be in control. Let's go for this one, right? Close. Whoa, that's bright. Oh, we have another one already. Super cute, super cute. All right, enjoy i3. I've been enjoying it over 10 years, I think. Cheers.